Another movie which scared me senseless was Stephen King's It. And I mean, come on, Pennywise is creepy as hell, and it made clowns a big nope for me. Although I wouldn't say I was scared of clowns, even as a kid, there was something always super weird about them. And so brings us to the Nintendo 64, because surprisingly there's a few clown characters you can get to play as, and so for today's video we're trying to work out which clown on Nintendo 64 is actually the most evil. For today's topic of conversation in the comment section, I want to know which movie as a kid scared you the most, and if you've ever overcome your fear of it. As always, if you want a full review of any of the games featured in today's episode, then head on down to the description box where I'll hook you up. Starting off in 5th place, and I'm going with Rudy the Clown. Who is Rudy the Clown, you ask? Well, on Nintendo 64 he makes more of a cameo than anything, but he's actually a first-party Nintendo creation. He is the main antagonist in Dr. Mario 64, which was also the first game where he was officially named as Rudy, as his previous appearance in Wario Land 3 he was known as the Hidden Figure. First I want to talk about his look, because his design is super unique and I hate the fact they haven't made Rudy in Smash yet, because I think he would work really well in it. His blue and red clothing is patterned with skulls, and if you look at his pointy boots and the tip of his hat, he actually has skulls dangling on them. Throw in his bright eyes and you know this clown is nothing but pure evil. His fists are always clenched like he's about to knock you out, and his hooter-like ears are weird AF. Throw in the fact that he's a giant and he's literally 6 times bigger than Wario, who himself is not a slim fella, and you have a giant fat evil clown with a look to kill and weird green teeth thrown into the mix. In Wario Land 3, if his hands grab you then it's an instant game over. In many horror movies the main villain often gets close to the victim and they manage to somehow escape to build up tension. Here however it's one grab and you're ended. You want to know the most heinous thing he does in Dr. Mario 64 though? He sent his evil minion Mad Science-Dean to steal some mega vitamins from Dr. Mario to help cure his cold. Yes, this evil clown just wanted some vitamins to cure his sickness, and Dr. Mario goes on a quest to steal them back from him. We have to ask ourselves, who's the real villain here? Dr. Mario pulls some serious Martin Shkreli Farmer Bro stuff in this game, and so this is perhaps why the only evil clown on this list you're going to feel sorry for, and that's why he's in 5th place. Little is known about our 4th placed evil clown except for the fact he had 2 appearances on Nintendo 64 in both Fighter's Destiny and Fighter Destiny 2. Pierre the Clown is a traditional French clown, and even if you scour through the game's manuals there's no backstory about him. So what makes him evil? Well, for a start he's French, and secondly he's a clown. So those 2 things combined are enough to make you sit up and pay attention. I remember as a kid opening the game's manual and all I wanted was some move lists and some info on the characters and the game's point system. But as soon as I opened the front page, his creepy face was doing a handstand, and if you look at his face, you'll know that he doesn't just want to blow you party balloons shaped like animals. I got some weird nonce vibes from this chap, and his yellow and purple clothes combined with his evil face paint are bad enough. But those gloves and the red frilly thing around his neck makes him next level weird. In Fighter's Destiny 2 we learn more about his red nose. He can inflate it repeatedly, and after the 6th time it explodes. This is a clown so hardcore he strapped a literal explosive bomb on his face and gives 0 Fs about it. Each time he inflates his nose he gets more and more powerful, so I'd also love to know what kind of stuff he's packing in that nose that makes him so jacked up. IGN did an interview with the studio before the game's released and they asked for some more information about Pierre. They were told that he was to be described as a clown that loves to freak out his opponents. He's a trained circus tumbler, but he prefers making people tumble. Okay, so that sounds creepy, but when you select him in the game, it's what he says that really gets you worried.
Don't look down.
Don't look down. Don't look down. Don't look down at what, you freak. It's never really explained exactly what Pierre doesn't want you to look down at, but I think we all know that this monster was really referring to something down below, and I don't mean the sausage dog balloon in his pants either. Another evil clown that makes 2 appearances on the console is Bonker. You may be fooled by its cartoony visuals, but Clayfighter's characters are all super warped, and none perhaps more so than Bonker. Once a happy clown that loved making children and adults laugh, now only finds happiness in others' misery. He was turned evil when the meteor hit the big top he was sleeping under, and since then he's become as hard as clay. After losing the tournament on Super Nintendo, he went on a warped killing spree and only returned to the circus land once his lust for murder had been slightly eased. The circus recommended he got therapy, which he got from a mental health professional, and just when things were getting better for Bonker, he decided to take a vacation to Claymodo Isle, and that's sadly where the 64-bit games pick up. It was on this vacation that he heard about Dr. Kiln's evil plans and decided to join him and recruit victims to be in his sadistic freak show. After being victorious, he returns to the circus, but nobody cares about his strange creation. That is, unless you play Sculptors Cut, in which case the story is a little bit different. When Bonker won, nobody was laughing, and after he chases the good guys off the isle, he sets up his own horror circus and becomes the ringleader. Bonker looks like your stereotypical clown that has exaggerated features. It's his arsenal of weapons, which include a mallet and an inflatable poodle balloon, which should freak you out. Being a clay character, his facial expressions change frequently, and combined with what we know about his mental state, this clown clearly has no problem in giving anyone a claytality to kill them off once and for all. These include a killer headbutt, a seesaw launch, a cannon, and an exploding barrel. Given he's already got multiple claytalities, including a straight up headbutt to kill you into pieces, this is one clown that clearly knows no limits. Originally planned to be in WWF Attitude, but then were removed at the last moment, the Insane Clown Posse, like their name suggests, are clearly insane oddities. See what I did there? Oddities? You know, the stable they were briefly part of in the WWF? Anyway. These serial killer deranged crackhead freaks come in second spot because unlike any other clowns on this list, they come as a duo. And they also have no problem in sabooing your mama through a coffee table, and so as soon as you involve someone's mother, you're definitely asking for trouble. You only have to read the lyrics to these wicked clown rappers' music to realise how evil and twisted they truly are. Magnets, how do they work? Asking questions nobody knows the answer to shows they have no problem in also messing around with your mind as well as physical violence. And the fact that Violent J has actually done prison time makes him the only clown on this list that has been behind bars, and so instant credibility is right there. Sadly, their appearance in WWF Attitude does little to show off their violent serial killer characters that they so eloquently portray in their music. It's just a shame Psychopathic Records didn't get their own fighting game like the Wu-Tang Clan did on the PS1, because that would have been some next level awesomeness. Sadly, these guys take second place for what they've done outside of gaming, and yet it's still cool to see one of my favourite rap groups in a video game, especially as they're invincible because wicked clowns will never die, Cyclone. Or is it Cy the Clown? Maybe he's called Simon the Clown when he's not violent. But whatever you want to call him, you can find him in Biofreaks, and this psychotic clown is the most disgusting and dangerous one on the console without a shadow of a doubt. Created by Chicago Telenetics, this synthetic biofreak exclusively fights for the state of Illinois. He's from Chicago, so that instantly makes him a bit tasty when it comes to the fisticuffs. Cyclone has an internally built biodrive which gives him a constant flow of adrenaline, which makes him super pumped up and mental at all times. He has a mohawk and red glowing eyes, so if you saw this bloke within a few hundred yards you'd know it's about to get violent, and his huge mallet makes Bonkers look like a kid's toy. The shield allows him to both attack and defend himself with ease, and don't forget he can also fly for limited bursts, so you just can't escape this nutjob. Furthermore, you may think that even if you can take his limbs off, you'd be able to escape the insta-death that this serial killer clown wants to kill you with. But no, if you take his limbs off, he still comes after you like the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There's just no stopping this murderous mutant. And if you do somehow manage to kill him, then he was made in a small cloning lab called Duplications Unlimited, which means there's literally an endless supply of these clowns, which makes Cyclone the most dangerous, deadly and violent, evil clown which can be found on Nintendo 64. So I want to know, which clown in any game would you put up against Cyclone as being the most deadly? Sound off in the comment section down below, and until next time.